2 is the brand new film from Universal and Blumhouse that just hit theaters. This is a sequel to the 2021 original film. Back in the director's and writer's chair is Scott Derrickson. This film does also take place years after the events of the first film. Finney, played by Mason Thames, and Gwen, played by Madeline McGraw, are back from the original film as the brother and sister duo. But just like in the first film, Gwen is now getting dreams that leads her back to an alpine, snowy Colorado Catholic youth camp. And for some reason, she feels like in her dreams, kids are carving out particular letters, and she feels like she has to do something about it. So her and Finney go to this youth camp, and Finney learns that they're not just being lured by anyone, they're being lured by the return of the Grabber, once again played by Ethan Hawke, who did die at the end of the first movie. Also back in this film is Jeremy Davies as Terrence, the father to Gwen and Finney. And also some new characters. You have Damien Bashir in the movie as Monra, the person running this youth camp. Miguel Mora as Ernesto, the brother, to Robin, Finney's best friend who died in the first movie. And you also have Ariana Rivas as Mustang, Mando's niece, who also helps run this camp. The movie is an hour and 54 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Stinenberg. If you're new to the channel, guys, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so notified when my videos hit here on the channel. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, out-of-theater reactions, movie franchise rankings, and every Monday I break down the box office. So please subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What are you guys' thoughts on Black Phone 2? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you like it more or less than the first film? If you have not seen it, tell me, have you even seen the first Black Phone? Did you watch the first one for the first time to prepare for this one? Would love to hear all your experiences surrounding this franchise. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So I am a massive fan of the first Black Phone. I've seen it 4 times now, just rewatched the first one again to get ready for 2. And it came out 4 years ago, loved it. I saw some lukewarm reactions since the last 4 years about that movie, but I have stood tall in the fact that I have defended that movie, loved the first Black Phone. But I was still somewhat skeptical of moving on. It felt like a good beginning, middle, end to that story. But I like the trailers a lot. The fact that Derrickson did come back to write and direct got me excited. So I was ready for another entry into this universe. And I found this to be an excellent horror film. Is it as good, in my opinion, as the first film? I don't think so. But that doesn't mean this is a bad sequel or anything like that. I think this is a really good horror film where they do a really good job at still making this feel fresh and original. Because in the first film, Mason Thames' Finney character, he's the central lead. He gets captured. While his sister, Gwen, is the one trying to figure out the memories to get to Finney. But again, that's Finney's movie with Gwen being a major help. This movie flips it, where now Gwen is the leading character. She's the one being targeted. She's the one who is the investigator here. And Finney's there trying to help her out. And I think the role reversals there really helps because the most interesting character of the first film for me was Gwen because she's getting these dreams in the first movie of the house where the Grabber was holding Finney in the first film. And it only makes sense if you want to continue the franchise. It's no offense to Finney, but why would he be the main character again unless he gets caught or captured again? And then it would feel like a retread of the first Black Phone. And once again, obviously the Grabber is not alive anymore. So Gwen having these dreams and that setting up the movie, and then we're really focusing on her story, her family lineage, why the Grabber would be targeting her at all, is great because again, Madeline McGraw, who stole the first movie, in my opinion, was easily my favorite performance of the film, is also great here, getting an expanded role. She plays very innocent well. She can be very naughty with their curse words and stuff. It's believable. McGraw is fantastic, and I can't wait to see her outside of the Black Phone movies because I just liked her so much in the first one, even liked her more here in 2. But the reason why I really love the first Black Phone and why I really like the second Black Phone is we live in a time in horror movies now where they're all dark, bleak, and even when there's movies with so many bloody kills, they don't give you that hopefulness that I think most horror movies at times need. Sometimes it gets too dark, too bleak. But what makes this two films so special, in my opinion, is these are very sweet movies that have a good central heart that makes you want to root for these characters. And that is the brother sister dynamic between Finney and Gwen. Thames and McGraw are great in this movie again. They have great chemistry. They both have very different reactions or going through different things based off what happened in the first movie because Gwen's bound the fact that she's fighting these dreams, trying to make sure she's not going crazy again like she did a couple years ago. And Finney doesn't want to believe it because he is the one who physically was suffering during the first film. He's the one who had to kill the grabber himself. And there's a lot going through him mentally. And they're both have gone through things since the first film very differently from each other. And it felt very authentic and real why they wouldn't understand each other's perspective, but why they need to listen to each other and understand each other's perspective. And the brother sister dynamic of the movie is the heart and soul. It's why you care about this film and the first one. And once again, I just think it's really great here. Ethan Hawke is not in the movie as much as he was in the first film, but when he's on screen here in the second film, he is as threatening as ever. Again, he's dead, so you don't really get the balance of him obviously being like a regular dude who has the charm taking kids, because here he's just basically in the dream sequences in the movie. But he's still phenomenal, terrifying, and you still feel like he's a tough villain to overcome once again. And also, I thought they did a really good job explaining why the grabber is back, because I was not a fan that it was just going to be another movie where he's back. The movie does a very good job explaining why he's back. The connection really to that family I found to be one of the most entertaining and fascinating parts of this sequel. The movie's paced very well. It can be quite funny, has some very, again, this movie isn't very scary, but it's a very intense movie. And sometimes people put those in hand. Scary and intense are two different things. And I love even horror movies that go for more intensity than horror. And I think this movie relies a lot on thrills more than scares. And that's why I appreciate the two Black Phone movies as well. The snowy conditions also in this Colorado camp gives it a much different vibe than the summer that was the first film. So I think they made it feel very different from the first one, which I really enjoyed. Now, on a negative level, I will say this. This movie is on the page just as simple of a story. Like, it really isn't hard to follow, just like the very simplistic story that was the first film. Again, I love simple horror movies. Those are the best. But I think this film's, from a writing perspective, doesn't trust the audience the same way as they did the first time. The first time, they didn't really have to give you monologues explaining what is going on. Characters are just in the moments and you can understand the mythology and stuff. This movie, there's a lot more monologues of characters, exposition dumps, explaining things. And I thought the beauty of the first film was really trusting the audience, and they don't really tell you how the kids are communicating with Finney. You just know. You can understand the lore without Finney or the grabber giving you an exposition dump on why that's happening. This movie, there's like two or three sequences which are just exposition dumps explaining not just what happened in the first one, but why things are happening now. And for it to be such a simplistic story, I think sometimes the script overcomplicates itself and over explains itself. And there are times where I just want to keep the things moving at a brick pace, and sometimes we come to a halt so characters can give exposition dumps to each other, because there's a lot more side characters in this film who obviously don't know what really happened in the first film, so they need to be explained. Plus, they need to explain what happened there, and there's a little bit too many exposition dumps, I think, in this movie. And I will say, like, the twists and the turns of this movie are very predictable. We kind of know where the movie's kind of heading from the start to the finish of the movie. But overall, I think this is an excellent horror film, a really good follow-up to a film that I love. So I'm very happy to say I'm a big fan as well of Black Phone 2. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go 81% for Black Phone 2. What do you guys thought of this movie? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.